Hello, Harry and Daniel. This is your sewer video for 2665 Regent Avenue North. This is me just kind of giving you orientation of where we are. Obviously put paper down just for any messes. You've got cast iron, which is typically normal for a house this age. Those are just cobwebs. Typical corrosion on that. We'll get to the other side of the foundation pretty quickly. And then, here's our first transition at about 11 feet. We'll go into what's called SIP, or cured in place pipe. So this is basically, they've lined the previous pipe. It's a very common application, lining like this. You can tell, one, obviously because of the lettering on the right side, but also the waffle pattern. Very, very normal. They just basically roll this in using a special hydraulic machine. It's pretty cool. They basically dig 2 points, starting point and an ending point, and they basically just use that hydraulic machine to, I don't want to say stuff, but they'll line it through. So that what we just passed right back there was a previous connection in the old pipe. You'll see those. You're not replacing the pipe, but just like right here, you'll see where the previous connections where the pipes were. I would seek out, see if you can find any documentation on how long ago this was, who did the work, what kind of warranties they have. It looks like they did a very good job. I don't see any issues or any concerns in this. It's roughly 30 feet that they lined. Everything looks pretty well done. So here's another hub right here, another connection. You can see it kind of outlined in there, dimpled in there. Every once in a while you will see splits. That's not a split. And then we transition to PVC. It's a good connection point right here. Clean pipe for the most part. It doesn't look like it's been cleaned. It just looks like it hasn't had a lot of heavy use. You can always tell if you've got a 4 or 5 person family living in a house, your pipe's generally dirty. Here's a connection point. For the most part, well, the purple primer, you can tell that that's a connection between 2 PVC lengths. PVC, the schedule 40 that they'll use, generally will come in 10-foot lengths unless they have to cut, like for just change of directions, like right here. So shorter length, just making this connection. Camera head just got hung up there a little bit. So I try to run a little bit of water. It helps me to push the camera head through. It's 3/8 inch cable, so it is somewhat challenging to push it for long lengths. This is pretty easy. It's a lot harder for cast iron and things like that are a little bit more abrasive in there. Here's a clean out. I would say that is somewhere in your yard, probably close to the street. It may be accessible, maybe not, but that's a clean out in the middle of your yard. They may have cut that in when they did the repair work. This is speculation on my part. Pretty smooth sailing. Your joints and connections look good. The connection before the city tap, you may have a small crack at the bottom, but you notice, like when we passed over that connection, it does get dirtier down towards the bottom at those connections, just for the simple fact that sometimes it picks up more debris when it's rough like that, when you don't have a smooth bottom this way. Up again, and again, that's what I was talking about right there. So a little dirty at the bottom. Hard to tell if that's just dirt It doesn't look like it's displaced. I wouldn't think that it is. Um, my recommendation is always to get your line reevaluated sometime down the road, 3 to 5 years from now. Keep this as documentation, and then just compare what it looks like then versus what it looks like now. We're starting to move down. That was a little downturn, and we get to the city connection. It's basically the drop off down to the city line. I don't want to drop in there because sometimes you get hung up, and it's really a bad day when you lose your camera head in the city sewer line. So I'll pull back from here. I'll keep the camera running all the way back so you can see the return trip pulling out. All in all, everything looks good. The only little bit of homework I would say is see if you can get any kind of documentation, see if there is any kind of remaining warranty on the repair work, and then reevaluate 3 to 5 years from now. But again, everything looks super solid. All the best.